pa rin natin si Jose Antonio Vargas dito sa Kababayan Today. I am here at the attic in San Mateo, San Francisco, California. At kakusapin natin siya. We'll ask him a little bit more provoking questions, okay? So, Jose, given the opportunity to speak to President Obama directly, face-to-face, what would you tell him in behalf of Filipinos, in behalf of undocumented people, and on a personal level? What would Jose tell President Obama?
I have to say, by the way, I think President Obama, having grown up in Hawaii, you know, some of his best friends are actually Filipino from Hawaii. So I think he's very much aware of the Filipino experience and what being Filipino in America means. I would say that I would tell him, as an undocumented person, that somehow I don't think, from the way the president has spoken about the issue, from the way that he has kind of rhetorically expressed his views on this topic, I don't think it's been as personal to him. And for us, given the daily realities and the daily challenges and the daily crisis that we live with, we require more from our president. And I think I have to say, my perspective here is a little bit, you know, more unique in that I actually covered the presidential campaign in 2008. I was on the trail for 2 years and 2 months, covering the 2008 election for the Washington Post. And I remember feeling the moment Barack Hussein Obama won the presidency, we had elected the other in America, right? Like there's a feeling that, oh my God, we had elected this guy that for many people is the other. And I think when that happened, every single minority group in America, anybody who's ever considered themselves the other in America, felt empowered and emboldened. And I think that's why many of us feel frustrated and disappointed at how the president has been unwilling in some ways to deal with issues in a bolder, more courageous way.
What are you most thankful for to America as a Filipino?
I think we take for granted, for all of this country's flaws and imperfections and shortcomings, I think we take for granted the promise of America and the freedom in America, right? Like, let me give you an example. We had a screening of the film of Documented in Washington, D.C. at the Martin Luther King Memorial. The Memorial Foundation of the Martin Luther King Association put up a big screen. We had an outdoor screening in D.C. There was like, I don't know, maybe 100, 150 people showed up. So to have that screening in the nation's capital at the Martin Luther King Memorial, by a film and about a film of an undocumented person, if that is not freedom in America, I don't know what is. So I'm thankful for that. And I feel like as a Filipino, as an American, I am a creation of this country. This country created who I am and what I've been allowed to be. And that's why I'm working as hard as I can. I feel like I have this privilege of my artistic purpose is to answer the question that I posed 3 years ago, which is, how do you define American?
Right. In your article in the New York Times, June 2011, where you proclaimed that you were undocumented, you said that the motivation to work hard was because you thought you could earn your citizenship in this country, in America. Do you think that you not being documented, if you were documented, do you think that you would have that same motivation? I mean, I know it's a difficult question to ask.
No, actually, no, my Auntie Ida, who's in the film, said this to me. We were driving in Washington, D.C. We had just driven home. I took them to a trip to New York. We rented a car, got to New York, and then drove back from New York to Washington, D.C. It's my grandmother, my Lola, and my Auntie Ida in the car, and I was driving. And my Auntie Ida says to me, she goes, Ton, don't you think this is a blessing in disguise? Sabi niya, what are you talking about? Sabi niya, hindi ka naman siguro would have worked this hard if you didn't have this? And you know, she's right. Maybe I wouldn't have, because it would have been easier. I don't have the privilege of being born in America and therefore being a citizen. To me, America is something that I had to earn. It wasn't something that it just landed in my lap.
Yeah.
Which is why, as far as I'm concerned, this is not only a question about immigration, it's a question of citizenship.
But given the opportunity to stay in America legally,
Oh yeah.
would you? Will you?
Of course. I mean, look, as far as I'm concerned, I'm already an American. I'm just waiting for my own country to recognize it.
Do you want to go back to the Philippines
Oh my
eventually?
God, absolutely. I can't wait. I actually sometimes I'm overwhelmed in thinking and imagining what that would be like, and what it would feel like to do that.
Okay, kausap natin si Jose Antonio Vargas dito sa Kababayan Today. We've asked him some thought-provoking questions as well as some personal questions. Pagbalik natin kay Jose, we're going to play What Ifs. You won't want to miss this.